Not that long ago, a friend asked me to take a look at a piece of email they'd received to confirm that it was legitimate. It wasn't. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. I want to review some of the signs in this specific email that flagged it as fake. So here's the email. You can see it's something about having been granted access to a secured document file. It's got an open document link. It's got the Microsoft logo. I've blurred out a few things for privacy, but the blurred out name is someone that my friend knows and has corresponded with in the past. The blurred out name and email address in the from line ending in @akc.org matches my friend's contact. The blurred out to line is the same email address as the sender. The email appears to contain a document shared by the sender for my friend to open and read. And of course, the email closes with an official looking business-like signature from the sender. There are many lies in this message. Here are some clues you can use. Number one, lack of preceding context. By that I mean, this isn't part of a discussion. This email came out of the blue. In this particular case, my contact, my friend, while they know the sender, they haven't spoken to them over email in months. There was no current conversation between the two. Two, lack of included context. There's nothing in the message that gives it any context at all. You've been granted access to a secure document file. Great. Why are you giving me access? What does it contain? What am I supposed to do with it other than the implication of opening it? Lack of an informative file name. Normally, files have names that indicate their content, right? Spreadsheet.xls or first quarter earnings.xlsx or something like that. This one, S#40s548/FC5A, it tells us nothing about the supposed document. Number four, the email wasn't to my friend. Like I said earlier, the email didn't show my friend's email address at all. The email appeared to be sent from someone to themselves. This can be a red flag. Number five, the entire box was an image. This whole box was one single large image. Clicking anywhere would take you somewhere. A legitimate email is typically a combination of text and images, not just a single image that looks like text. Normally, only the open document button would be clickable. The destination was bogus. Given that the email looked like a Microsoft email because of the logo, we would expect the link to go to a Microsoft-owned domain. However, hovering anywhere over the image showed that the destination URL was no such thing. I'm not going to include the actual domain, but it basically boiled down to the equivalent of some random numbers .somerandomservice.com, where somerandomservice.com is actually a domain that I own. The important takeaway is this. All of these clues were visible. It took just a little time to look at and think about the message before acting on it. The presence of multiple clues strongly implies that, yeah, this was a phishing attempt. Now, there are still more clues that you can look for. They're just not as obvious. They are kind of techie. One of the first things I did was to look at the headers you don't normally see. They were much longer than what's shown here. The results were difficult to interpret and, to my casual eye, inconclusive. However, we have tools for this kind of thing. mxtoolbox.com has an email header analyzer. Most tellingly, in this example, near the top of the results was this. DMARC was not compliant. SPF was aligned. SPF was not authenticated. DKIM was aligned, but DKIM was not authenticated. To grossly oversimplify, SPF is an email standard that defines whether a specific email server is authorized to send email on behalf of a specific email domain. DKIM is an email standard that confirms whether an email message was sent by the email domain it claims to be from. This message failed both tests, further cementing our evaluation that it was spam. So, why didn't the spam filter catch it? Well, many of the clues are completely subjective. A spam filter won't know that you do or don't know someone. These are all things only you and I can judge when we take the look at the message. Many of the clues, perhaps even especially, the SPF and DKIM failures are common even in legitimate emails. This is part of what makes fighting spam so excruciatingly difficult. So, what happens if you click? Messages like this one actually have a very simple goal. They look legitimate, they promise something, they include a link to click on, and when you click on that link, you're taken to what appears to be a sign-on page. The sign-in page itself is completely bogus. It only collects your sign-in credentials, which are then passed on to the hacker. If you had entered your Microsoft account credentials, you would have been handing them over to a crook. The bottom line here is actually really simple. Think before you click. The time you take to do so, to think about what it is you're looking at, will be well worth it compared to the possibility of having your account compromised. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/136589. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.